Welcome back to the show. The Utah Jazz have been kind of busy the last couple of days with the draft, free agency, and summer league.
Yeah, and who better to talk about the Jazz offseason so far than the voice of the Utah Jazz, the one and only Craig Bolerjack. Boler, thanks for dressing up again. We appreciate it.
You know, it's my Sunday best.
Your Sunday best. Only he can pull this off. We can't pull this off.
Yeah.
I thought I'd dress up, but I just,
Not
thought
for us.
No.
We don't need to do that for us.
This is it right here. This is it.
Let's start with the news of the day. Reportedly. It's not official, Wes. Not official. Bojan Bogdanovic coming to Utah. What do you know about him?
Well, he's 6'8", and he can shoot the three. And when you really look at the breakdown, and if Favors is actually released, then what you get is a 39% career three-point shooter compared to 21% with D. Faves. Now, look. Favors is a terrific individual. The Jazz, that was a deal, remember, with D. Will years ago.
8 years ago.
And it's hard to believe. And, I remember that night when it happened, and he showed up at the gym in Indiana with just basically a little bag with a few shoes and a T-shirt and some shorts, because he was 19 at the time. But he's been a terrific Jazz man.
He
did.
Literally grew up.
That's a great point, Wes. He was a Jazz man through and through. And, the Jazz are at a point in time, if this all goes down as they plan, this is just another step in showing Rudy and Donovan and this fan base, despite the fact Faves is one of the all-time fan favorites, is that it's the next step in the process of being definitely an NBA contender for a title.
I don't know what Bogdanovic can bring to the table as opposed to Favors, but Favors was not only a starting power forward, but he was also a great backup center, arguably the best center on the court for the Jazz during the playoffs against Houston.
And a good defender. I don't think Bogdanovic has his defensive ability.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the system doesn't allow him to show maybe some defensive skill sets. And Quinn and the Jazz take a lot of pride, as we know, in development of players. But he brings to the Jazz, if this thing does occur, three-point ability, and that's what this league is right now. And I think those numbers of 39% career three versus Faves 21 is really kind of the thing that kind of probably turned the tide on this decision.
And he was 42% this past year. And when Oladipo went down with an injury, he was scoring over 20 a game. So it's always nice to have. You got to have third option, fourth option. It's just interesting. They're almost going offense over defense. That's not a typical Jazz move, but they realize they got to score more.
Well, and I think we were talking earlier that it's really positionless basketball. And if you ask coaches really around the league now, hey, what position does he play? They don't want to say, hey, he's a basketball player. So you want a guy that's versatile, can play the 3, the 4 if necessary. On given nights, the Jazz have shown they'll play small ball. And, probably now the question is, who backs up Gobert? Or do they play smaller when he's off the floor? We'll have to wait. And as we talk, there's still more decisions to be made to fill out this roster.
Tony Bradley needs to step up. But, when the season was over, they said that Favors was not the problem. He was
the solution.
And now they're moving the other way.
It tells you, too, that the league, and I think the players understand this as well as anybody, that there's really, the guaranteed contracts are obviously for a reason, and you applaud the league or the NBA Players Association to actually say, hey, these things are guaranteed. But when the time comes to make that change, or if you have an option in one of that final third or fourth year, then you have that ability to make a big move, and that's what looks like the Jazz have done.
Now, we talked the day of the Mike Conley trade, and I was excited. I know you were excited. Now that
that hasn't happened.
It hasn't happened. Not yet.
July 6th.
July 6th, all reported. But now that you've had, a week, 10 days to kind of think about what this is going to mean and hear from Conley. He spoke at the NBA Awards how he wants to do something special here in Utah. Do you like this deal, if it happens, more than even you did initially?
Yeah, I think, again, the Jazz always work by the rules. You have not seen any confirmation of any of this. And what's crazy is that, Twitter blows up. The videos are out there with them, getting us head start on practicing together. But I think what happens here is, if this deal goes through, is the bottom line is, so he is what you would call Jazz DNA. Quinn Snyder uses that multiple times, as has Dennis in the front office. And from everything I've seen, this is a perfect fit for Donovan Mitchell to grow into another level in this league, most likely all-star level. And it actually helps the bigs, Rudy, and the passing. And you have to defend this guy. And, he's a defender as well. So bold moves right now reported by the Jazz, and it should be very exciting for the fan base here, because in a crazy world that we're in the West especially, the door really has opened, and a lot of teams are trying to make that jump to be a major player.
And this is the interesting part, though, is a lot of people, national people. Jay Williams, you said today.
Oh, yeah.
ESPN tweeted
about
Jazz are a title contender already. I mean, no game's been played, nothing's official.
Do we pump the brakes, or should we get that excited?
You know, I don't think if Quinn was here, he'd probably say, "Okay, boys, let's hold on to this a bit. You know, let's get into camp. Let's see how things go." And obviously, health is a key for every team.
For the gel, chemistry.
I think they get a jump because of Conley's experience in this league, and he'll make those adjustments when needed. But I think there is a lot of excitement on paper about what this franchise is doing.
Let's talk about Summer League. That starts tomorrow. You're going to be on the call for the 3 games at Vivint.
Big T, Booner will make an appearance. David Locke, radio voice of the Jazz, will be there, and Chris and Kenny.
Now, you've been out to practice. What do you think of the new kids? Brantley is impressive. Wright Foreman's a leader. Mia Oni can score. I mean,
he's on my own name list already. Mia Oni.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
You know, what I got from them and watching practice on Friday, again, Skeeter Barnes, or Lamar Barnes, Skeeter, is coaching, and you know, trying to implement all this. It's a quick. It's a quick lesson, right? I mean, we know how we crammed in school. These guys are cramming, but I think it'll be real simple basketball. But again, I think there'll be a push for defense, and I think also who can shoot the 3 ball. You talk about the second-round picks. They all said to Kristen in the interview that she had with them was that I already feel like I'm better after 3 days in this NBA camp setting than I was ever in college. Well, that says a lot. What the Jazz are trying to do.
If these trades go through, this is going to be a fun season.
Hey, makes my job easy.
I know. Everyone wants to talk to you and talk about the Jazz.
Great to see you. Yeah,
make your job harder because you'll be working into June.
Would anybody in town argue that?
Nope, they'd like that.
You'd take that,
in fact, they would like that. Dana, I tell you what we'll do is something really fun happens. We'll just be down Main Street waving at everyone.
On the parade.
Yeah, it's about time to have another opportunity.
It's about time.
97 and 98's been a few years ago.
Bowler, you're the best.
Thanks,
we have to step aside for just a minute, but coming up, we're going to go inside the locker rooms and press conferences for another entertaining edition of Bites of the Week.